Last week, we had this problem, vocabulary. And in this problem, and the next problem that we are going to talk about, I'm trying to show you the similarity between a list and a list. A list and a string, okay? I'm sorry, what I'm talking about. The similarity between a list and a string. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay. A list is an ordered set of items, and a string is an ordered set of characters. They are very similar. Okay? A string is an ordered set of characters. Like, if I have a U, which is snail. Now, U is a string, and U. How many letters are there in string U? How many? 5. Okay? And they are S, N, A, I, L. There are five characters in the string U. Do you know what I'm talking about? Does the order matter at all? For string, does the order matter? Can you spell snail as L-I-A-N-S? Can you spell it like this? No. So is U and V, are they the same? No. So they are ordered. You cannot change the order. If you change the order of a string, that will result in a different string. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay? So a string is an ordered set of characters. A list is an ordered set of items. All right? So there are a lot of the similarities between a list and a string. And that's what I am trying to show you for these two problems. For the first problem, I already showed you that. Can we do a multiplication? Can we do a multiplication for string? Can we? Can we do a multiplication on a string? Like, what is U times 5? Can we do that? Yes. And then we have one string. That will result in one string with 5 snails inside. Do you know what I'm talking about? But can we do that with a list? Can we? Can we do that with a list? What about S times 5? S is actually 1, 2, 3. Can we do the multiplication on a list? Can we do that? Yes. Yes. See, I would like to show you the similarities between a list and a string. What you can do on a string, most of the time, you can do the same thing on a list. Do you know what I'm talking about? Because they are very similar. A lot of the idea apply both on a list and a string, like the multiplication. that we showed you before, just now. All right? And last time, for the last problem, we also have the subscripts on both. You understand that subscript will also work on a string. If you want the first item of S, which is 1, what do? How do you specify the first item of S? We have S0. What about the snail? What about if I want the first character of snail? Then we do U0, right? Any question? No? Okay. Now, I would like to show you another thing that a list and a string they both have in common. One operation that you can do both on a list and a string is that what will you see if you print S? What are you going to see? You will see a list. You will see one list with 3 items, 3 integers inside. It is showing you only one list with 3 numbers inside. Do you know what I'm talking about? Do you see this pair of square brackets? This pair of square brackets, that means it is showing you a list with 3 items inside. Any question? But now, what about this? What are you going to see? You will see only the numbers. It is exactly the same. It works exactly the same as print S0, S1, and S2. Exactly the same like this. Do you know what I'm talking about? Okay? It is not printing out. It's not printing out a list at all. It is printing out 3 numbers. So this star will actually unpack S into items like this. Do you know what I'm talking about here? All right. So what will you see if you print U? What are you going to see if you print U? You'll see snail, because that's what U is. U is a string of snail. Do you know what I'm talking about? Any question? Okay. Now, what about if I print start U? What are you going to see? The same thing? What are you going to see? This is what you are going to see. This is exactly the same. This is exactly the same if you do this. U0, U1, U2, U3, U4. Exactly the same like this thing. Do you know what I'm talking about here? Okay? What if I specify a separator as slash? What are you going to see? Exactly. There will be slashes between each two letters. Any question? Let me show you. What if I do this? What are you going to see? What are you going to see? You will see exactly the same output, like this. Any question? Okay, next. What about if I drop the star, if I don't use the star, what are you going to see? What are you going to see? What is the output of this function? What is the output of this instruction? What are you going to see? Guys? The same? Is this what you expected? No? Why not? Because U is one string. Like this, U is one string only. One string. With only one. That is only one parameter. And when you specify a separator will show up between two parameters. But now you have only one parameter. Is there any slashes going to be shown? No, no slashes at all. Do you know what I'm talking about? Because you have only one string. So, is that clear to you? Okay? Now, if you understand that, the next problem is a very easy one. Give you a string. Give you one string. You need to spell it out. You need to put a hyphen between every two letters. You need to put a hyphen between every two letters. Do you know how to solve this problem now? It's easy, right? Very easy. So let's do that. I'm not going to give you the whole program. I want you to solve it yourself now. Any question? No. And then let's start doing it.